Hey YouTube, it's Rhea Rich here, and I just got back from my Paris trip with my fiance. And I wanted to share some tips with you about a pass that we bought that we thought would save us time and money. The pass that I'm referring to is called the Paris Pass. The Paris Pass package comes with 3 different cards. The first one is the actual Paris Pass. This allows you to go to the attractions and the museums for free. You also get to skip the line where that is an available option. You also receive your big bus pass, and this is basically what you present before you get on the bus. Someone scans it for you and they give you a receipt that you hold on to for the entire day. The last item that's included is your actual Metro Pass. And this Metro Pass is valid for zones 1, 2, and 3. So basically where all the major tourist attractions are. And you are able to ride the Metro an unlimited number of times. So with the Paris Pass, you gain admission to over 60 different attractions and museums. But to be honest, there are only really 12 that you really want to see unless you have unlimited time and unlimited time to spend in Paris. I'm going to run down the list and just talk about what we did, what we didn't do, and why. The first attraction is the Paris Big Bus Hop On Hop Off tour. So that's included in this package. We ended up doing the 2-day Hop On Hop Off tour, and we only took advantage of it for 1 day. We're on the big bus, but this is not in English. The first day it was raining. We were just running late in general. We were a little jet lagged. We also did our engagement shoot while we were there. So what we had planned for our second day, we ended up pushing to the end of the trip. But the big bus tour was great. You got to see a lot of the major attractions just in one sitting. The traffic in Paris is really bad. So unless you're leaving early in the morning, you will be sitting in traffic. Paris is definitely a walkable city, so you don't need to do the big bus tour. Ubers are super cheap. You could also take the metro, which I'll talk about a little bit later. So there are other options. The Louvre Museum is also included. That was a must-do for us. They also had an option for you to skip the line. We ended up not taking advantage of it because the sign for it was so small, we didn't even see it when we got there. So we ended up standing in the line. Luckily, it wasn't too long. As for the Palace of Versailles, that was about an hour ride away from us. We would have had to take the metro and then take the REIR train, which is similar to, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the New Jersey Transit trains. It's like that. It's their local train system, not the subway, but the more regional one. And it just took too much time to go there, and the weather was kind of bad, so we just skipped that entirely. Bateau Parisien's river cruise. I actually read about this on TripAdvisor. I just wanted to read reviews to see if it was worth our time, and all the reviews were so bad. People said that although you get to cruise down the Seine River and you get to see a lot of the scenic elements like the Statue of Liberty and other attractions, the boat itself is really crowded. We opted to skip that. Notre Dame Cathedral, that's included. We saw that. It was beautiful. Definitely worth it. The Arc de Triomphe, that was great. You don't really need a pass to go there. That's something that you can do for free. Centre Pompidou, we actually skipped that. We just didn't have time. The Chateau wine tasting, we tried to do that on Friday. You have to schedule in advance. And we thought our flight was leaving at like 5 p.m. and we ended up finding out that our flight was leaving at 2. So that just completely threw off everything that we had scheduled for Friday. We only had time to go to Montmartre and to Notre Dame. That's where we went to Notre Dame. So the Opera Garnier guided tour, that's a must-do. The Orsay Museum, that's absolutely a must-do. So many beautiful pieces of art. You have to go visit that. And then the Paris Story. The Paris Story is like basically a movie screening of Paris. It goes through the history and the culture of Paris. I kind of know that already, so I didn't think it was worth us sitting there and going through that, so we skipped that as well. Now let me talk about what's not included. There may be other attractions and museums that weren't included in the Paris Pass that maybe I don't know about, but these were the major 2 that I think are crucial and I think should be on your Paris itinerary. when you go, and that's Palais de Tokyo. They have some amazing exhibits, amazing installations, just a very cool museum overall. And then also the Louis Vuitton Foundation. It's absolutely gorgeous. The architecture is amazing. And on top of that, they have a Basquiat exhibit in there that is a must-see. Just know that if you have either two of these museums on your list of to-dos, you're gonna have to pay, I think it's $15 or 15 euros each for entrance. Okay, so I'll start with the pros of buying the Paris Pass. So the pros are, it definitely saves time. Although I said that Paris is a walkable city, it still takes you time to walk from one side to the other. I mean, you're not technically walking from one side to the other, but you could be walking, you know, upwards of 10 or 15 or 20 minutes to get to one attraction to the next. Another pro is having the unlimited Metro Pass. We really enjoyed using this. We like to explore the city when we're traveling. We like to explore where we're at, and sometimes we just like to get lost. And so being able to take the Metro and not have to pay every time we got on it was super useful. Okay, now for the cons. I would say paying $131 for a pass might not be the most economical way to spend your money if you're not planning to visit a lot of the major attractions and museums. Another con, when you purchase the Paris Pass, you have to go pick it up in central Paris. So it's not like you can just download it on your phone and have it to present at the places that you visit. You have to actually go to a place and pick it up. And the place that we picked it up was actually right next to the Louvre. So it was convenient in that we were able to just go and explore as soon as we picked it up. But for those who, you know, have a really packed itinerary, you have to make sure you schedule time in to do that. One other thing, we actually ended up printing out the receipt because on the instructions it said you had to present a printed receipt in order to claim your pass. When we got there, everyone had it on their phones and they just showed it on their phones and they were able to print it out. I mean, we literally had to jump through hoops to get this printed out. I had to email it to myself. Well, I had to find Wi-Fi, email it to myself. We had to find a printing place. We didn't have any euros. We had to go to the ATM. I mean, just a full show. So that's a tip for you. You don't have to print out that paper. You can just go to the office, show your phone, and redeem your pass. Easy peasy. What's another con? I would actually say that's it for the cons. Here are my recommendations. If you are going to Paris for the first time, you want to do everything, you'll be there for a good week, I'd say buy the Paris Pass. It's worth the money, it's convenient, you have everything at your fingertips. You don't have to worry about where to buy Metro passes, where to buy your big bus ticket, paying for museums and attractions a la carte. This has everything you need. It's super easy, it's super simple. Now, for those of you who have been to Paris before and have some general idea of what you want to do, where you want to go, where things are loosely located, then I would recommend buying just a carnet of tickets from the Paris Metro, buying the big bus tickets separately for a day or 2 days even, and then paying for the attractions in the museums a la carte. That way you're not spending a bunch of money on things that you're probably not even going to get around to doing. For us, since we went to, I'd say, about 6 places, we could have probably bought tickets separately. But at that time, we weren't sure what the weather was going to be. We didn't know that it was going to be raining for 2 of the days, and so we probably would have done a lot more if the weather was nicer every single day. So that's something to keep in mind. Those are my tips. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box down below. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye.